Yeah, hi, I'm Paul Archer. I'd like to talk to you today about backseat closing skills. Do you know, closing and gaining commitment is one of the hardest things we can do as salespeople or coaches who are coaching coachees. And I think I need to give you a bit of a love story just to illustrate this for you. Now, I'm a fully fledged, signed up member of the Union of Dads Taxis, and my job at the weekend is to ferry my children around the county of Gloucestershire, usually to and from Cheltenham and Tewkesbury as well. I was bringing my teenage son Lewis home from a night out with his new girlfriend Gemma. They'd been to the cinema and I think they had a very nice time. It was their first date and I picked them up to take Gemma home. It was what I said I'd do for the father, which, you know, fathers stick together, don't we? And I was driving along, it was chucking down with rain, it was pelting with rain, and we were just approaching her estate, and I could just hear Lewis in the back shuffling around as though he was about to ask her for another date. And obviously I wasn't saying anything, because you don't, do you? As a dad, you keep quiet, because you're the taxi driver after all. And I was listening to you, Lewis, talking to his girlfriend, and I said, go on, Lewis, I thought to myself, just ask her, go on, her body language is saying so, yes, just ask her out. I was pleading with him to do it. And, you know, it's a difficult thing to do. Easier for me to say when I was his age. It was probably just as difficult. I think I was just as fumbling as he was in the back. But you see, closing or asking for commitment has to be one of the hardest things we can do as salespeople, counter assistants, customer advisors. Most of us in the front retail setting, we have to do some selling and we have to gain commitment. It's the key decider that makes a salesperson, is the ability to close the sale. Computers can't do that yet. Well, at the moment, salespeople can. And the key thing, though, of course, is either Gemma in the back seat of the car or Mr. Brown who's buying the annual travel insurance from you. We need to ask them. We need to make that request, and that's the hardest thing to do. So let me give you a couple of ideas and see if these help you to obtain commitment from your clients. The first one is called questioning the close. And what we do here is we ask questions to the customer, the client, to ensure that they commit or close or go ahead with the sale. One of my favourites is, you know, we're in agreement on this, aren't we, Mr. Brown? So what's the next step? Is a great one, isn't it? Or it could be, do you have any more questions, or are you ready to go ahead? Or it could be, you know, how can we make this happen? Nice one, isn't it? Or it could be, we can get this going actually next week. What would you like me to do? You see, what you do, you're just asking a question, aren't you, in order to progress the sale. The other one you could use, a little technique, is called posing as the expert. This is very simple and effective, and pretty much you're just asking the customer, you're telling them that you're going to go ahead. Because you're in charge, remember, customers like you to be in charge, you have your sales process, and you just say to them, well, shall we crack on then, shall we? Let's crack on then, shall we? It's a straightforward close, because the customer does trust you at that point, and they expect you to lead them on to the next stage. Okay, there's two little ideas for you. Pose as the expert and question the close. I think they work really well, don't they? Okay, let's go back then to my journey back to Gemma's house. We were just about to approach the house, and I heard in the back, I could just hear what was going on. Lewis said, Gemma, he said, we both had a great time tonight, haven't we? So shall we go out again next week? And Gemma turns around and says, that would be a lovely idea, Lewis, thank you. Isn't that lovely? Shame it didn't happen like that, though, did it? It didn't happen at all. We dropped Gemma off and she went home, and on the way back, I could see this little 15-year-old teenager in the back of the car looking very disgruntled, staring out of the rain-spattered window, wondering why on earth he hadn't asked her. Shame that, isn't it? So there we have a little technique and some tips for you. Oh, by the way, Lewis did ask her. He got onto Facebook that night and actually asked her out for a date. What has this world come to? I ask you. So remember, to commit yourself, to get commitment, to gain the close, it's not that difficult if you question the close and pose as the expert. I hope you found this useful. I know Lewis did when I told him later on. He didn't like me for it. I hope you found it useful. My name's Paul Archer. I'll speak to you very soon. Bye.